What's up, everyone? This is Josh Krieger, co-host of Edge of NFT, here live day 2 at Token 2049. Excited to be here with Dreamer, the president of Kingdom Studios, previously 9 years at Goldman Sachs. Very interesting shift of a business, but maybe not really. We'll get into that. Nice to know that when you're not like working on this killer game, some skydiving, some surfing, some scuba diving, some martial arts in the mix. Dreamer, great to have you here.
Happy to be here.
How's the vibe been at Token 2049 for you?
It's been really incredible. I've been to a number of events so far in the last year, and it's a bit different in Singapore. People come very intentional. They're very organized. They come in teams and network like the best of them.
They're really good networkers here.
I was actually surprised in every other event, our merch, people just are lining up to take it, and they come and they're lining up to ask very detailed questions. They like the merch, but they are asking like 20-minute discussions, and people are waiting. Just a different mindset here. Good energy in a market where, sometimes it's hard to find that toxic, not toxic, intoxicating, good energy that's surrounding this place.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I've been really enjoying our time here. So glad we came to Singapore. I think it's so important for cross-pollination of the ecosystem. We've got this quote bear market, but a lot of building still happening, including what you guys are doing. And there was recently this big announcement about the launch of your partnership with Clayton. Had a chance to talk to Yoshi and David from Clayton. Would love your perspective on that collaboration, why you guys chose to collaborate with this amazing South Korean venture.
Yeah, so first of all, Yoshi and David, both separately and together, are incredible. I love them both. I met Dave at NFT NYC, and we started talking about what we were focusing on at DeFi Kingdoms. Some of the Three Sigma events that happened that impacted a lot of us. We were not excluded from impact there, and we were thinking about how to be strategic. In a bear market, you have to do a couple things in order to survive. I think staying relevant, finding ways to be deflationary with your economy and your in-game tokens, but also getting good partners where there's good incentives. And a result of that conversation with Dave led to, hey, a move to Clayton, an expansion to Clayton, a partnership with Clayton is just what we need in this market. They have a strong team. They have a great targeted focus in a region that we didn't have a stronghold yet.
I mean, like close to 100% adoption for their messenger app in South Korea. I mean, that's absolutely unheard of.
Yeah, and it's not a new app either. It's an app that's been around for over a decade. I lived in Korea for a few years in the 2000s, early 2000s, and I was using that app. So that app has been around before. I think in the US, when we started using messaging apps, they were already on it. So a lot of stickiness with that user base. Therefore, majority of the country is using that. With that collaboration with Clayton, it's huge. But they also have a lot of other interesting partnerships, and their professionalism is incredible. From marketing to tech to their ecosystem. DeFi Kingdoms does a lot of transactions. So when we're looking at chains, it's not just who wants us, it's who can partner with us, because we're kind of high maintenance. We need to make sure that we don't break the chain. We need to make sure that our users aren't frustrated with experience, that we have good co-marketing, and Avalanche has been that for us. Other partners in the past, a little bit less so. So we're learning what to identify as good partnerships, and we're really excited about this one with Clayton.
Well, let's rewind a little bit, because I almost assume everyone knows about DeFi Kingdoms at this point. But maybe you can sort of describe DeFi Kingdoms in a nutshell to folks, and then let's kind of go into what's new in the world of DeFi Kingdoms.
Sure. So for those that are wanting to get caught up, we launched as a DEX where we simplified DeFi, made it gamified, and it made it a lot easier for people to get onboarded and understand. They started staking in the DEX or planting seeds in the garden. Then from there, we launched our hero NFTs, which is like any RPG game that you might be familiar with. Take the hero, make it an NFT. That hero has stats that's linked to battle and questing, and those stats get better as you play and level up. As you play and collect resources like catch a fish, that thing's a token. You mine for gold.
I've
that's
caught a
token.
few in my days.
Yeah, I'd hope so. Hopefully more than just bloaters, although we love bloaters.
Yeah.
These tokens are then used to burn and make potions, and in the future make equipment and weapons to make your heroes stronger. Your heroes can then travel through maps and realms. Each chain is gamified as a realm to fight each other in PvP, to do PvE campaigns, and really have that RPG experience on the blockchain where your assets carry value, are interchangeable, and quote unquote real compared to traditional games where it's very real to the player, but it's hard to convince somebody else of a set price or liquidity or any real like digitally tangible value.
I think one of the real opportunities and challenges you have with DeFi Kingdoms is you've got this cryptocurrency community which is trying to get a return on investment. That's what inspired a lot of them to get into the space and certainly into DeFi. And then you've got this gaming experience that's actually quite vivid and fun and engaging that, it is about the game. And then we've got this bear market. So I'm sure that there's some pressure on you and the team to be thoughtful on how to create a sustainable economy. It sounds like in the process of sort of reflecting and learning, which I know you guys are constantly iterating, you've come up with some new heroes, some new in-game assets, and some new features based on what's happened the last year. Would love to sort of learn more about that.
Sure. So part of the expansion of DeFi Kingdoms is looking at all the chains. There's a lot of EVM compatible chains out there. They all have their own branding, their own theme. When we were on Harmony to start, and we have Serendale, a realm that was really meant to be this peaceful realm, to be harmonious with the whole theme of Harmony blockchain. We were looking at other partners, and Avalanche wanted us so bad. So we created a realm, Crystal Vale, that is more like Viking-esque. I mean, the crystal token on my shirt looks like a triangle, a mountain. It's all ice themed, and the new heroes that they got were related to their overall theme. So as you look at the other chains out there, there's a lot you can do in terms of creativity and building a realm around potentially Polygon, now Clayton, where we're relaunching Serendale 2.0, and we will make it fun. We'll add some updates to the map.
Yeah,
we'll
I'm kind of curious, like what these heroes are going to be like.
Yeah, well, I think I've actually been testing theories out while I've been here and asking loaded questions, and it's interesting how we are on the right track, because the questions I ask, I think people naturally come to the conclusion of the type of token that we're looking to launch, because they'll get their own game token, just like Crystal has their own. And Jewel, which was previously Serendale's token, is getting repurposed to be a broad token that will be on all chains. Eventually, when we're on centralized exchanges, that will be the token that represents DeFi Kingdoms. It'll be gas, governance, fee sharing, and premium features. But Klaytn will get their own token. They'll get their own new heroes.
And their own new gene sets, right?
Exactly. So the existing heroes that are out there right now, I think we're near 300,000. They carry not only genes that are linked to gameplay, but physical gene sets that are fun.
Any specific ones that you're excited about that you can mention?
I'll just say we're partnering with Clayton in the brainstorming on all of this, and we really want to expand.
And they've got a great brand and a really creative team, so those must be some fun sessions.
Yeah, they're great sessions, and we are identifying holes or gaps in the current gene sets to expand on them to be much more inclusive, especially in this part of the world. So there'll be some exciting stuff that are linked to some classes and gene sets to kind of bring to life and bring into the fold parts of the world that may have not have been as represented.
That's great, and shout out to the Avalanche guys. Love what they do. And 2 million transactions a day. Is that correct? What you guys are doing on Avalanche?
Yeah, go check out. Avalanche has a really good explorer for their subnets. We're one of many subnets, but we are definitely at the top of the heap when it comes to users and transactions. That has been greatly improved from the migration from Harmony. As we prepare for Serendale 2.0, we are also ramping up feature utility parity on Crystal Vale on the subnet. So yeah, transactions I think over the last 3 weeks now have been in the over 1 million range. I think in the last 2 weeks, over 2 million. We actually had a huge spike of like 3.6 or 3.7 million in a day. And immediately Avalanche guys reached out and they're like, guys, this is great. It looks great, but we need to preserve the integrity of the chain. Let's look at gas fees. Let's look at ways we can optimize it. We also looked at the game and said, hey, when you're questing, there's a lot of individual transactions. And shout out to Magnus and Hubert. They put their heads together and they said, how can we make this easier for our users? And came out with multi-questing, I think about a week ago now.
Cool.
So we've dropped transactions down to like the 1.5 to 2 million range, where the chain is still functioning beautifully. It's a good experience for all. We're burning Joule, which will not have any more supply added from this point going forward. So you can do the math there. Burning Joule through not only gas, but other in-game features, no new supply. There's some interesting tokenomics there to consider. But yeah, transactions, subnet, the performance, it's all very exciting, and we're really happy with our partnership with Avalanche.
Well, awesome, man. It's great to see you and get a little glimpse at what's happening in DeFi Kingdoms. I know you guys are just going to keep on innovating. Wish you the best with the forthcoming quarter, and let's see you guys at NFTLA next year.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. What is the date again? It's like
March 20th through the 23rd, and we got a whole track just on gaming. So you're definitely going to be on stage, my friend.
Yeah, look forward to it.
All right.